the new Parkway Theater, where good food, diverse entertainment, and community create a place for everyone. For showtimes and special events, check out www.thenewparkway.com. You are listening to High Score 510, where real talk is our vernacular.
Cricket is a sport of guys not athletic enough to play baseball.
You know, they got a little athletic ability, like they can breathe and run a little bit, but I wouldn't say
they can breathe and run. They can do it at the same time.
It's all about psychological stuff and like your heart rate. The person that works the most is the pitcher. That person runs more than anybody else on the field.
For some unknown reason.
People in the outfield, which is 360-degree outfield, where they
don't move at all.
Man, you don't got to hit the ball that far. Like, it's like, man, if it rolls and hits that wall, you get points. I'm like, wait a minute, no. Baseball is way better than cricket. I'm sorry.
I
you think cricket is tight.
I agree with you.
It's fine. It's not anything near what baseball is.
And the batters are so bad at their hand-and-eye coordination, they need to use this fat-ass, wide-ass.
Yeah, they use a wide-ass paddle.
They use basically bunt. Just hold it there. Let's go hit it.
They'd be like Chubbs and Happy Gilmore. Give it a little tap. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the High Score 510 podcast. You can catch us at High Score 510 on the Instagram, the YouTube, and on the Twitter. You can also check out our Patreon. You get exclusive content, conversations that are too hot for our regular show. Check out patreon.com/High Score 510. And we are here with...
this is AG3 coming at you faster than that guy that was on top of the building in Lethal Weapon 1. When Riggs was trying to calm him down. I need a Riggs now because I just paid my car note and I'm thinking about going on top of this building and contemplating where life is going.
You know, you're not the first guy to think of this, you know? A lot of people have got problems, especially during the silly season like now. You know shit! No, you're wrong, pal. You're wrong.
How in the hell I get in this situation with the car note like this? The craziest thing, people keep telling me I'm fortunate. When I tell them how much I pay my note a month, they're like, what? Oh man, you got a great deal nowadays. And then my sister tells me there's some TikTok thing going around where people are saying how much they pay for the car note. She's like, average is like $1,000. I'm like, okay, that makes me feel blessed, but still, I don't know how they haven't jumped.
Mm-hmm. No, that's just they're just getting you in more debt. People are getting in debt.
Thought you were gonna say your car note was so high that you were gonna start teaching at Donda Academy.
Come on. Hey man, thinking about seeing if he hiring for Pauler.
No. We need to continue to push Mackenzie Scott. Keep thinking up, we could do a music video like that old white lady that was rapping in Arizona or Utah. Or we could do like a cameo where you know what I'm saying? Or we could just do like a real just kind of just like infomercial style thing. Aaron, just think of it. We'll go whatever direction you feel like.
We definitely gotta go 90s R&B.
Yeah, 90s R&B.
You be the lead. We'll back you up.
Yeah, we'll get you a leather jacket that goes all the way down to like your mid shin. You know what I'm saying? It could be like light tan brown or something like that. Aaron. We'll get you some. We'll get you a turtleneck, a knitted turtleneck, like a nice thick one. And we'll have you suited and booted before you even knew it. All right, well, here's the soundbite, Aaron.
Assalamualaikum lama. Islam. Alaikum salam.
Wow. He did not know what he was saying. Play that for me again, please. Please play that again.
The way his tone at the back end just listen.
Assalamualaikum lama. Islam. Alaikum salam.
Like a lost alive. And we are here with...
Hey, what's going on? This is Brandon, aka Taco Pablo. Happy to be here. It's about another week here on the East Coast.
You know who's on the phone now? The ex-wife. You know who's crying in the background? Tell him, Juan Bobby. And tell him who's crying in the background. The mic. Come on. Your son is on the freaking phone crying and we get on the phone. You know why? Because the announcers are saying his father doesn't want to be heavyweight champ. And you know what he asked your wife? You know what he asked your wife? How come daddy don't want to be champ no more?
Now we see why Michael Moore never made it big. Why he got knocked out by Old ass George Foreman.
How come he don't want to be champion no more? Hey, was that a good pep speech in the corner? Like, is that a good, like, rousing, like, one last stand, give it your all speech? Or was that just, because he had a prop too. He put out, I'm on the phone with your wife right now.
So it sounds like the start of a Drake record, man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All bad.
And my name is Jared, aka DJ Art, with 2 T's for a double dose of that tink tink. The D is silent, so it's just Jart.
One thing I have not done, I've never pretended to be a police officer, and I've never threatened a shootout with the police.
Well, and now I have to respond to that.
We are moving on,
I
gentlemen.
have to respond to that. And you know what's so funny? I am with many police officers, and at the same time,
Mr. Walker, excuse me, Mr. Walker. Please, out of respect, I need to let you know, Mr. Walker, you are very well aware of the rules tonight.
Yes.
And you have a prop.
Yes.
That is not allowed, sir. Yeah. I ask you to put that prop away.
Well, it's not a prop. This is real. And he said, I have a problem. I never
it is
with law
considered
enforcement.
a prop, Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
You're very well aware of the rules, aren't you?
Well,
aren't you aware of the rules?
He brought up the truth. Let's talk about the truth.
In news this week.
Damn shame, man.
Herschel Walker faced off against Raphael Warnock in a debate, y'all. Did y'all see that? Did you watch it?
Hell no, I didn't watch that.
No, man, I just scrolled Twitter for all the highlights.
That's all you need to see, the highlights.
Well, that was the number one highlight from the debate. Herschel Walker pulled out a badge that he's like, this ain't a prop, this is real.
Wow.
But he pulled out a badge because he said that it was given to him by the sheriff of his county that he grew up in, and that he has police on his side. So, I don't know if he's still claiming to be a cop, but he definitely has friends who are cops that are willing to give him a badge that is real so he can use it as he sees fit.
Now, I will say Warnock looks like Herschel Walker sounds.
Damn, you over here stereotyping Southern black men, Jared. Brandon.
Man, I just said he had big lips.
Can you tell me what that means?
You say you over here saying the Michelin tire man.
Yeah.
You over here saying John Gruden talking about him. Now you over here rubber lipping.
Can you tell me what that means?
Fucking ignorant ass debates now. Remember when debates used to have intelligent people? We just don't get that no more.
Well, they used to at least be tied up. Like, it used to be buttoned up a little bit. And if they didn't know what they was going to talk about, they would talk around it. But they at least presented as though they were semi-cogent and intelligent. Now it's just like, you can have somebody out there who's just spitting random bullshit the entire time or just sounding like an idiot. But another highlight was Herschel Walker on healthcare.
Mr. Walker, with more than 1.5 million Georgians uninsured, in 1 minute, is it time for the federal government to step in to ensure all Georgians have access to health care?
Well, right now, people have coverage for health care. It's according to what type of coverage do you want. Because if you have an able-bodied job, you're going to have health care. But everyone else have health care is the type of health care you're going to get. And I think that is the problem. And what Senator Warnock wants you to do is depend on the government. What I want you to do is get off the government health care and get on the health care he's got to get you a better health care. So that's what I'm trying to do, to make you independent rather than dependent.
Can you tell me what that means?
Oh my God.
You see how he's sucking his bottom lip?
Everybody knows you never go full retard. What do you mean? Check it out. Dustin Hoffman, Rain Man, look retarded, act retarded, not retarded. Count 2 picks, cheated cards. Autistic, show, not retarded. You got Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump. Slow, yes, retarded maybe, braces on his legs, but he charmed the pants off next to him and won a ping pong competition. That ain't retarded. He was a goddamn war hero. Right. You know any retarded war heroes?
Oh, this is bad, man. This is like when shit. This makes Ricky Magic Johnson sound like the goddamn what's the black dude that do all the Cosmos and shit?
I'm not gonna be here.
Neil Tice Degrassi, or something like that.
He make Mike Tyson, young ass boxing Mike Tyson, sound like Neil. Neil Tyson DeGrassi. Damn, I can't say this motherfucking name, dude.
I'm gonna have to give Herschel a magic moment for that answer.
You have to give Herschel a Herschel moment for that. Magic wasn't that ignorant.
This magic moment.
He need a Herschel moment. He need a whole new moment.
Can you tell me what that means?
Can you tell me what that means? I got health care. You don't. Every able-bodied work. You got health care if you able-bodied work. And then we work. And people that don't, you on the government. I'm trying to get people off the government health care.
So you can get his health care, which is government health care.
How much you get his health care? His health care, he got good health care.
He got that good.
He got that good health care. Like, they take away skin tags on his. Mine, they won't take away no skin tags, but he got the government won't take away skin tags. He got skin tag health care. Use it. Use it. They'll take away skin tags, clear your ears out, do all that good stuff. I took my mama in. She got her skin tag removed. She had one on her armpit that was the size of almost the size of a college football.
In school.
I think we got a new segment. We're gonna do what would Herschel Walker do?
How would Herschel Walker fuck this up?
That's what I mean.
Man, I'm sorry, Herschel, but yeah, this brother, conservative people, this is the scary part. I honestly am like listening to what Raphael Warnock was saying. Like, obviously, like if I had a vote in Georgia, I would probably almost certainly, vote Raphael Warnock, but not because he's necessarily a Democrat, because the motherfucker actually seems thoughtful and, has a good track record.
Because the motherfucker got more than 3 brain cells working, Jared, to be honest.
Yeah, man.
That too.
Another big question. Who is the guilty party? Should we start at the beginning where African Americans sold the African American ancestors into slavery and to a slave trader who eventually sold the African American ancestors to slave owners? The slave owners who had no success and no luck trying to make a Native American whose land they took become their slave because the Native American ran away.
Like I said in last week's Cutty Corner Shoutout, I don't want stupid people making decisions for everybody. Just like I don't want the richest people in the world to make decisions for everybody. Like, it's got to be somebody, and there's different types of people. It's got to be somebody who is, has an ability to be empathic and sympathetic and has all these different virtues and components of their character that allow them to extend understanding and openness and hopefully good policy towards the people that they represent, not people who are just so, is it myopic, who are just like so focused on one thing, or just they will sacrifice any and everyone else for their goal and their agenda. And that's not how you represent people. I don't think it is. But Georgia, shout out sponsorship. Get out and vote, y'all. If y'all gonna look past the fact that this man can't even put together a thoughtful statement that makes sense. He had a couple witty lines where I was like, man, that was really witty.
And I stand where I've said I've stand in the past, that a patient's room is too narrow and small and cramped a space for a woman, her doctor, and the United States government. We are witnessing right now what happens when politicians, most of them men, pile into patients' rooms.
May I respond?
Very quickly, Mr. Walker.
It is, and I heard about him. I heard he was a neat talker. But did he not mention that there was a baby in that room as well?
But then I thought about it, and I was like, actually, it wasn't that witty. It just was like amazingly witty for Herschel Walker standards. So I was like, okay. Herschel was on his game. People were like, man, he was so sharp tonight, stuck to the points. Man. He didn't answer any real questions and then started getting mad at Raphael Warnock saying, see how he avoided answering the question? Also, just to kind of cap this off is Herschel didn't show up to the other debate that happened last night. So there was a debate with the other person running for the Senate seat who's a libertarian, and Raphael Warnock was there. And then Herschel was not there. They still represented Herschel Walker with the empty podium in the middle of the stage where he wasn't. He declined to be there. It's like, man, 2 debates in 3 days, man, that's too much strain on these 3 brain cells, bro. We trying to preserve them. In other Georgia Congress news, Marjorie Taylor Greene was in a debate, and she had this to say.
Marcus, you're a father and you are a representative of the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party is the party of child abuse. It's the party that represents grooming children and sexualizing them in school, teaching anti-white racism in the terms of CRT education, and genital mutilation of kids that can't even get a driver's license, can't get a tattoo, and cannot vote. How do you stand there and represent the Democrat Party as a father? And do you believe in genital mutilation of children under the age of 18? And these puberty blockers that have severe health consequences?
Time for your
because
question.
I've introduced a bill to ban it and make it a felony to mutilate children's genitals. Do you stand by that?
Boy, that was a lot. And God bless you, Marjorie Taylor Greene. If you truly believe that I'm praying for you in this country. I believe in.
I like that he just left it at that.
Just left it at that. Don't answer that ignorance.
I pray for you. Let's get to some real news. In other news, Alex Jones was ordered to pay over $950 million to the families of Sandy Hook.
Came two weeks old on this one, Jared. This shit is 2 weeks old. You know how you always...
This happened last week.
Yeah.
I
thought it wasn't the week before?
No, this is a second judgment.
He lost another judgment of $50 million in Texas.
And they're just letting them know that how terrible their lawyers were. That this group of people got
more money.
Yeah, these people is getting $1 billion. Several families are getting $50 million each. 14 family members sued him for libel and defamation for claiming that Sandy Hook was a conspiracy to radicalize people's anti-gunness and take away more of our liberties. And so, yeah, he basically is now having to pay $1 billion. What do you guys think about that?
They're not gonna see any of that money. Number one, I can't imagine a way that Alex Jones is gonna make $1 billion and somehow give it to them. If he had,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's a billionaire. I don't think he has any really close billionaire friends that are just gonna pay it for him. So I mean, it's a big number. They're just basically saying like when they give somebody like double life or triple life in prison, well, it doesn't really make a difference after a certain number. So it's so weird because like I think I was talking about this at some point last week. Like people don't care that you say stuff; they care that other people listen. Because there are a lot of conspiracy theories out there people could just say, but they're just really mad because people like listen to him, right? But that doesn't really change any of the facts. The case, like they found the kids, their bodies in the graves. Like it doesn't matter what some idiot on the internet says. But I think that's so weird about our legal system that you could just sue somebody for saying something that's completely false. Even with like the Cardi B thing, like the YouTuber who was basically saying she had all these venereal diseases, and she got ordered to pay like $4 million or something like that. Like it's so wild to me that there's a monetary amount that you can calculate for somebody just lying.
Somebody lying.
And not in a court of law, not to the police. I was just saying some shit in public about you that ain't true.
Well, I think Brandon, you're leaving out the fact that we're not talking about like people's opinion, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I watched this game. I think this dude sucks, right? I think Draymond Green overrated. We're not talking about that. We're talking about guys who are spreading like vicious lies to either, defamation of character, or in the case of Sandy Hook, where it's just like, it's like ridiculous, right? So it's one thing if you say it in a bar. See, here's the thing. You're allowed to say in a bar. Bill Burr the other day, he talked about, when he was in the bar watching T.O. play, right? Talking about, because, he loves football. He's like, I was complaining about T.O. back in the day, right? Watching this guy play. This is when, he got that contract with the Eagles right before he, all that blew up. And I'm like, man, you believe this guy got the money he demanded, right? You believe he worked? Because he's like, we watched him drop a ball. And I said that to the guy sitting next to him in the bar. He said, white guy. And he said, he gives me that look. He looked around. He said, that's when I should have known what was coming. As soon as he looked around, and then just drops the N-word on him, right? He's like, I hate that effing, and then drops the N-word. Bill Burr's like, I should have known something bad was coming the way he looked around, right? To make sure it was safe. And so I think it's one thing to be in a bar, Brandon, and just say it randomly. But like, if you got a podcast with millions of people listening, like journalism has always been held up to a high standard, right? If you're going to consider yourself a journalist, whether you're a hack, a liar, or people trying to jump in the game like us, right? You have to hold yourself up to a standard. You can't just come out lying. And I always say that about us on this show. We can't just come out lying, right? Like
Darius. You heard that of Darius?
Facts.
You heard that of Darius?
Fuck you, Darius. Fuck you.
The facts.
We can't come out with lies because it doesn't happen in journalism. Even though we have this new journalism where anybody could be a journal or a fake journalist or so-called amateur journalism like us, you still have to be held to something, right? And I think this country still holds that, right? Journalists will always get in trouble if they couldn't, they would go to jail for their sources or confirm their story, things like that.
It's one thing with journalism, right? Because you can see a direct correlation between something negative you said and like something I'm trying to do. Like if I just say, I think they let toddlers urinate in all Pepsi products, allegedly, that can affect their bottom line. I could sue you for that if you knew it was a lie when you said it and you hurt my pockets or whatever. But Alex Jones and these people from Sandy Hook, like, I don't know what their argument was because I didn't really follow the case like that. But why is there a monetary amount to that? Like, you can cease and desist, you get the show shut down. Maybe it affected like people donating to funerals or whatever.
Well, the thing is that he InfoWars is its own production company. It has a platform. It has millions of people who engage in his information, right? So he has reach. It's a LLC. It's got money. It's got money and funding behind it. People buy things from them. And I'm sure he, profited off of, that lie or that conspiracy. After the verdict came out, he was on his show talking about like, they're not going to stop us. It's crazy. This is what hell must be like or some shit like that. And then he's like, keep buying stuff. We're going to fight this to the very end. We're going to fight this. So get back on the shop and buy these things. And like a big part of what he's doing is like, he's like a snake oil salesman. He's one of those people who, pulls up like in that movie, Sweeney Todd, that beautiful white movie with Johnny Depp and Helena Baron Cohen.
I am Adolfo Pirelli, the king of the barber of kings. Hey, buongiorno, good day. I blow you a kiss.
Okay, serving meat pies. And the guy that was also in it is the guy who played Vecna in Netflix's Stranger Things. Shout out sponsorship. A little fun fact for you. Anyways, he was the kid who was trying to run off with Sweeney Todd's daughter that he didn't know was his daughter. Anyways.
You and Eric start a movie quiz show. That's what y'all should do, man. Yeah, I've never seen
when we watch movies, we watch movies to watch them. And I never seen Sweeney Todd, but when I watch my other movies, I watch my movies to watch them. See, there's other people that casually put on. This is why me and Netflix don't work that well, Brandon. I can't casually watch it, right? Unless I've seen it like 20 or 5 times. Like I could casually watch Top Gun. I could casually watch Star Wars movies and go to bed to them.
Those are high vendetta ranking movies.
But I can't casually watch. I got to watch it and know what's going on.
Yeah, I like to watch movies and actually like be real meticulous when I watch them, unless it's just already starting to bore me and then I'll like lose interest. But typically if I'm into a movie, I'm going to pay attention to a lot of the little details. But anyways, as I was saying, our boy Alex Jones has reach, he has platform, and he's profiting off of it. And 2 of the plaintiffs were actually FBI agents. One of them was a FBI agent who responded to the 2012 shooting, whose name I'm sure was put out there, and they, were targeted by these conspiracy theories. These families were, these people are grieving over like a tragic, like life-altering death in the like of a child, and you have people who are, calling you liars and telling you you're a fucking scumbag, probably getting some death threats. FBI agent, had to, process that shit. And he's going through his own trauma. And now he's being called a liar and a conspiracy theorist when he had to, go serve a community going through great grief. So, yeah, Alex Jones, you profited off you telling this lie. This is one of the things that you talked about a lot. And one of the things you probably sold shit in your shop about. And people, saying listen to you more because they wanted to believe your lies about some of these things. And so you profited off it. So motherfucker, the damage you've done plus the profits you're going to give to these families and this FBI agent.
Hopefully he had his business affairs in order, man. Hopefully he's an S corp or corporation.
Yeah.
And that should just tank, as opposed to him doing some DBA, which I completely believe Alex Jones is operating under.
Well, that's different from you, Brandon, because I hope he die and burn in hell. And I hope it's a painful death. And I hope he get disemboweled and they, and maybe quartered or something, more.
Right. Aaron, I would love to see the map of your execution now. Because apparently over the last few weeks, people still catalog converters. Disembowel.
No. He said, and the bloodline. He said, and the bloodline.
In the bloodline. In the bloodline.
You could tell he's been watching House of Dragon because he's just
and bloodlines
murdering everything.
Yeah, but fuck Alex Jones, man. Like he Aaron, he could be on your no longer breathing air, no longer sharing air.
That's the thing. He's a shitty person. Yeah, I don't want him breathing the same air I breathe. You know what? If he breathed carbon dioxide, I will allow him to keep living. But he doesn't. He breathes oxygen. We shouldn't have to share the same breaths with him.
I think he's just a pathological liar.
He's a piece of shit, Brandon. He could be both. Two things can be true. You can be a pathological liar and a piece of shit.
But the same
and a bad human being.
But we need people like that around to be pathological liars, because sometimes there is like a shimmer of truth, kind of like that wall that shines golden in Yosemite every once in a while. Like under these conditions.
Oh, that's Horsetail Falls. Yeah, so the fire falls. They do the fire falls too. No, but we're not saying genetically alter and not allow people to be born that are going to be We're not doing some Gothica shit. Or what was the one with the Ethan Hawke? Gattaca, what was that movie, Ethan Hawke, where they
come on Minority Report?
Yeah. No. I think it was Gattaca.
It might have been Gattaca.
I didn't watch that crap.
They were genetically modifying humans so that they would not have any faults, and they would also be like geared towards one thing or another and be skilled. And if you weren't born in that system, then you were considered a lesser and like, shit. We're not saying that. We just saying like when you realize that this motherfucker ain't shit, they can go. They can go. We're not saying that you can't have kids. We're gonna keep an eye on their ass, but you know what I'm saying, like it's time for you to go.
That probably should be one of the prerequisites for you not to have kids. Like
because that's too much controlling. We're not saying control nature. Like
that's like big brother. Yeah.
I do believe in that you have a chance to prove yourself to be what you are and who you are going to be. And you, Alex Jones, prove yourself to be a piece of shit, ain't shit motherfucker that ain't shit.
Yeah! And that nigga owe me $5.
Todd popped in. Todd, are you there? How's it going? It's on a walk.
Oh, what's up, guys? Sorry, I'm trying to pick up a grizzly shit right now.
Oh, yeah, not an actual grizzly, but your dog named Grizzly.
Yeah, dog shit. Sorry, I'm
still only half the size of a real grizzly shit. That's a big dog.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
How's it going, guys? I think you always know when you tune into a high score podcast, it's either going to be some really heavy shit or some really light shit. Nothing in between. I heard something about being disemboweled and
yeah. One day, Jared realized, hey man, I'm gonna choose a weekday and talk politics. Get shit out the way.
All right. Well, in other news, walleye fishermen accused of cheating were indicted on felony charges. Jacob Runyon, 42 of Ashtabula, Ohio, and Chase Kaminsky, 35 of Hermitage, Pennsylvania, were accused of cheating during a fishing tournament on Lake Erie. It was confirmed there was some cheating going on when one of the event organizers took their catch that they had submitted, cut them open, and found lead weights and other fish fillets stuffed into the fish. What do you guys think about that?
They gonna charge them a felony charge. You can't get none of these. See, that's why. What state was this in? Might have to move
Lake
there,
Erie.
man.
It was Lake Erie. So
Ohio or one of those Midwest states around there. I'm gonna have to move there because they'll take care of business. Unlike California, letting fools cut off catalytic converters and putting them on release to don't worry about it.
Yeah,
programs.
man, you can get federal charges on a leisure sport.
You getting federal charges on cheating in a goddamn fishing contest that nobody really give a fuck about. And then here we are out here, people stealing catalytic converters left and right.
Well, I think one of the reasons why it is felony charges
because they made a lot of money off them. They did it for a lot of events. I read it. They did a lot of events. And I also was reading, so I didn't know at the end of so they donate the catch from everyone in the contest. Like the fishermen could choose to donate their catch to go towards the food bank, and they give it out to families in need, all the fish. So food banks are on hand to get all the fish. And they knew to check it because they never would donate their fish. And they're like, really, we fish for a living throughout the year. No one eats the fish, right? They're like, no one's eating that much fish. And they're like, in some of the competitions, you know, you got so far along to go, you don't carry that fish until it'll spoil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, usually you donate it, and they would never donate their fish. You know, it's a competition where they pick their 4 biggest fish, walleye, and put it in there. And they said they could tell like the average weight is between these certain weights. So those fish should have combined for like a total of like 17 pounds or somewhere near there. But those were almost like 30 or something, 30 pounds or over 30. And they're like, come on, man. So, yeah, I can understand the felony because I heard they won a lot of competitions. Some of the prizes were boats, which they resold for more money. I mean, I understand that. I can't believe it's felony charges. They're just not banned out the sport for life.
Yeah, I would ban them also. Hopefully that's another consequence that comes out of this, is that they're just banned from fishing events. Yeah,
Bill Belichick didn't get shit for all his cheating.
He made the Patriots misdemeanor. The Patriots became $1 billion entity after they won all them cheating Super Bowls. Brandon, what do you think about that?
I think all the points Aaron said, man. Nobody's really cared about this fishing thing. It's the most publicity this whole fishing circuit has gotten in at least 15 years.
It's almost like the chess. At least, you know, chess had Deep Blue. And then they had
Bobby Fischer.
They had the Bobby Fischer movie that came out. And then they had the guy who...
And then they had the girl, the chick, the Queen's Gambit girl.
Queen's Gambit girl. And then they had the guy who had the butt plug, had the vibrating butt plug. So,
yeah. Well, even that movie about the whole dog show thing, right? The reason that movie got made, because there was a controversy back in the day. Somebody found that guy in the news like, oh, this whole dog show world. I forget what the name of the movie is. Like a super
Best in Show.
Movie, Best in Show.
Best in Show. Yeah, whatever.
That's the name of the competition too, Brandon. Best in Show.
And that's how that movie got made. I feel like they're angling for some exposure, man.
She is really giving them a thorough going over. Are all judges that thorough? I mean, she looks at the teeth.
It's very important that all the attributes are examined: teeth, eyes, ears, gums.
Am I seeing right? Where's she putting her hands now?
She's just checking out the dog's testicular area to make sure that everything is intact.
Hate to go out on a date with Judge Edie Franklin, have her judge me. That'd be no fun.
I mean, I don't know if sex on a boat sells. It's like, but a scandal does. People seem to be addressing the story.
I'll say this. I think it's the same, very similar demo. Was Days of Thunder a big enough success to make a second one about fishing?
Days of Thunder wasn't about fishing. What you mean?
Just saying, it's similar demo of who was interested in these sports. Similar demo, similar people might come watch it. Is that a movie that was good enough to be like, we need to do another Days of Thunder? Now I know Great America had a Days of Thunder ride, you know, saying that.
I was gonna say, if you made it, if Great America gets a Days of Thunder fishing ride, then maybe.
The difference is NASCAR was blowing up. They were growing as a sport, unlike this fishing. And I'm not going to say same demographic, Jared. One is the South and one is Midwest. Those are way different people.
Oh, but you got a blue collar, salt of the earth, white people. That's the vibe that I get from both those. Blue collar,
which tells me that you don't watch neither one.
They wear the same type of jackets.
No, those NASCAR jackets. They spend a lot more money to watch NASCAR
no.
than people who are watching fishing.
I still see hunting jackets. I see hunting jackets at the fishing thing. I see hunting jackets at NASCAR events.
You didn't watch. You ain't watching.
Now,
NASCAR
in the warmer months, they obviously ain't got no shirts on, or they cut off sleeve shirts. But those are the same people that will go home and put on that hunting jacket when it's cool at night.
Come on, see, now you saying I see them wearing hunting jackets and that they go home getting hunting jackets.
Those are the same people. You gonna tell me people at NASCAR don't go home and wear a hunting jacket, bro?
Dude, how many people you know watch NASCAR?
They all shop at Bass Pro Shops, bro.
Come on, man, Jay. You see, this is you.
It's Camping World, actually.
Yeah, and yes, the name has changed, and this is you, Brandon. How many black people you heard talk to you about NASCAR since you've been in North Carolina?
Maybe one.
That's it, just one.
I tried not to bring it up after that one incident. I was like, I don't have 45 minutes to talk about this.
But that's the South. That's a contract. North Carolina is where NASCAR started. So obviously that's different. What I will say though, Aaron, how do you get all these same people to vote for somebody who obviously doesn't have interest in?
I agree. They all have blue collar white people, but
that's the same
NASCAR,
similar demo. A similar demo. I'm not saying that they're fans. I'm just saying the demo that you're going for is very similar. I think that if Days of Thunder was a big success and people are like, man, this kind of leisure sport or this peripheral sport short movie did really well. We're gonna do another one.
I mean, it did do well, but it did very well.
Well, Tom Cruise was in it, so it did well enough, like for Tom Cruise. But it wasn't a great movie.
It was you were young when that shit came out. That shit did really well.
Was Robert Duvall in that too?
Yep,
Robert Duvall, and
he was big time back then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a well movie.
It was a big budget movie.
Jared coming by his old standards to him, but being young, it was big, man.
I saw it in theaters.
It helped grow NASCAR.
Who took you to go see Days of Thunder in theaters?
Yeah,
man. When I was a kid,
Tell me who hurt you. Tell me who hurt you.
I think it was a friend's birthday party. They wanted to go see Days of Thunder. It was like, it's Tom Cruise. We're gonna go see Days of Thunder.
What year that movie came out? I'm trying to see how old you were.
91. I was like 6 or 7. I was in first or second grade. We went and saw Days of Thunder.
Came out in 1990, Jared.
Yeah, so I was 6. Yeah, I remember. And then I went to the amusement park and did the ride. I was like, the ride was better than the movie.
So you were in first fucking grade, man. Don't sit there and start acting like you was old enough to remember how big that movie was.
No, it was a big movie. Tom Cruise was in it. That's the reason why we saw it. We were like, Tom Cruise, he's Top Gun guy.
Chance wasn't a success.
I asked the question.
You told me you saw Top Gun and Days of Thunder in the same 4 years.
Bro, I saw Alien and had nightmares, and I didn't like to go to bed as a child. I was like 4 years old, 3 years old.
It made 157 million in goddamn 1990, Jared. That's huge.
All right, so then we need to make a fishing movie about these guys. Tom Cruise can play one of the guys. One of them's like 50 years old, so Tom Cruise can play him.
See, Jared, I'm thinking you're one of these young people that just look at Rotten Tomatoes and go by, was it success by what the Rotten Tomatoes score is?
I don't use Rotten Tomatoes. I use my own I have my own grading system.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
Days of Thunder, man, no, that tells you how well I watch movies.
It was a big fucking movie, Jared. It was a success. You can't sit there just because movies don't come out with a sequel. Don't mean it wasn't a success.
No, but that's why I asked the question. You guys could give me an answer, so obviously I'm gonna think.
I gave you an answer.
It was
no. It was a good movie for its time, man. You were in first grade, Jared. I can't tell you movies I was first grade were they success or not. I can tell you whether I like them or not. That's all I could tell you.
Nicole Kidman was looking good in that movie.
She did not look good in that movie.
You talking about that beautiful white woman?
She did not look good, man. I couldn't understand the hype on her. I liked the movie, but I couldn't understand the hype on her.
You liked her better in Legends of the Fall, didn't you?
She got better. She wasn't in Legends of the Fall.
What was that one where she's like, I'm gonna stab you through?
Far and Away.
Oh, Far and Away. Whatever. It's the same thing, man.
I didn't like her that much in that movie. I liked that movie, but I didn't think she was beautiful in that movie either. I didn't think she was beautiful until she got older. She aged like fine wine to me. I didn't think she was good when she was younger. I thought she was plain looking.
Eyes wide shut.
I will say
that opened my eyes to her. My eyes weren't shut in that movie. That was the movie that opened my eyes to Nicole Kidman. Eyes Wide Shut. Stanley Kubrick. You made a shitty movie, but that's the way you go out before you die.
That's a magic moment. Someone said Stanley Kubrick.
This magic moment.
Man, say whatever you want, man. Food dead. I can call whatever I want.
Gary Kubiak, man. I remember he was a Houston coach.
Gary Kubiak was backup to John Elway for all those years.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah. Anyways,
I remember him as a backup. Back when he was in first grade, he was John Elway's backup.
We started talking about making a movie around fishing. The last
what's the best fishing movie of all time?
Well, it
was fishing movie all the time.
Jaws.
Jaws.
And then
the
last big fishing movie was The Perfect Storm with Mark Wahlberg.
There we go.
Oh my God, Lord help us, please! I saw that movie. In theaters like 6 times.
I saw that movie in theater.
Where
I saw it once, and I wanted that ship to crash faster than the Titanic.
Man, I saw that movie in Chicken Run about 15 times because that's where me and my girlfriend at the time was going through some things.
So why did she keep taking you to go see Perfect Storm?
Because we weren't watching a movie here.
Oh, you're going through some good things.
No, we was going through good things. Some things.
No, when you say going through some things, I'm thinking you arguing and you fighting, man.
No, we was going through the other things.
No, I don't know why you would go back. I mean, you guys must have all have roommates.
No, this is high school. And I didn't even have a license yet. This is when I was like 15 and 16. I was going through some things.
Wasn't there another fishing movie, a comedy fishing movie?
I just can't. Well, there's Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. I'm just about
dull.
I keep thinking, I'm trying to think about this poor movie theater staff who sees Jared and his girlfriend coming here every day.
They see The Perfect Storm again.
You wasted a lot of money, Jared.
Movies was only $5 at the time, man. It was.
You could have saved your money and got a hotel room.
I was like Bart to Walnut Creek or Bart to one of these theaters and just hop in the movie and yeah, it was. That's what we had back in the day. I wasn't trying to go all the way. I couldn't get out to her house, and she couldn't get out to my house. We couldn't drive. There's movie theaters. Like, think about where are the other places you could hook up when you were like a teenager?
The Pier. When I was growing up, we had the Pier. We had 3rd Street Promenade. You had the mall. So you guys don't have a mall culture up here. We had the malls.
Hilltop.
Yeah, like I said, you don't have a mall culture up here. You might as well have said Durant Square if you're gonna say Hilltop, Durant Square in Oakland.
But see, like,
don't hate on Hilltop.
See,
Hilltop. But I went to Hilltop. I said, "God damn, this wouldn't even be a low end mall in LA. This the shit after everything closed down."
But when you think about it, like the movie theater was a easy place to hook up. It was dark. You didn't have to worry about people was paying attention to something else, and you could sit somewhere. If it was a really good movie, yes, don't go. If it was a movie like The Perfect Storm,
I really hope you ain't counting Days of Thunder as talking sports, Jared. That's all I want to say.
Days of Thunder? No, we talk about fishing.
Oh yeah, man. Y'all talk all the sports on Woody's show.
Don't ever say Jared doesn't talk sports. That's 2 weeks in a row. You got chess and fishing.
In other news, Daniel Snyder allegedly has been collecting dirt on various other NFL owners as a way to preserve them from voting him out of his ownership stake and forcing him to sell the team. What do you guys think about that?
Oh no, he sounds like he was doing what he's supposed to do. Like, what's the use being an evil billionaire if you ain't gonna do some evil shit? Like, what's the use?
My thing is, I don't know why he's doing this. If he sells a team, see, when Donald Sterling sold the team, or his wife sold the team according to Donald Sterling without his permission, he's kind of old. It's like, man, damn, he became this multi-billionaire, but he's too old to really enjoy it, right? But Daniel Snyder's young enough to still enjoy being I mean, he bought the team for probably what, 600 million, and they're probably gonna sell around 4 billion. Dude, I don't know why he's tripping. Sell the shit.
He's already really, really rich. Like, I don't think the money is the issue. Like, he was selling on his own terms.
Rich. That's true, but it's just like now you could be ridiculously rich.
Well, I think also like it probably just plays into his ability to be like, hey man, I'm in the nation's capital. I have arguably the largest sports franchise in the nation's capital. I got people wanting to come to my games. I got connections. I got all kinds of things that I could parlay this into. So that's his angle. I'm not selling this team where I got access to fucking the capital and legislator who make law to land and shit like that. He's like, I'm about to use this to my fullest extent, or at least use it for my friends and my other business partners' extent. So I'm not tied to it, and they make money. I'll kick me back shit for it, or give me a share or stake in it.
800 million, and he also owns the stadium. Oh my God, he bought it for 800 million. You talking about what made him a millionaire or billionaire is the ability to turn profit. This is the biggest profit you could turn. Turn the shit.
Do you all think that is the reason why the owners have been so mum and been like, Roger Goodell, give that shitty little report about toxic workplace environment, and then let's get rid of Gruden, and then like don't talk about it, say we're done with it, and let's move on? Do you think that that's the reason why he did that, and that's the reason why they haven't really forced his hand? Because Jerry Richardson got voted out for less. That old man, Jerry Richardson, the Carolina Panthers old owner, 2015 or 16? Remember, he got voted out, and he had to sell the team because he had Joe Biden the woman by sniffing her hair and made comments about women and their appearance, and enabled somewhat of a toxic workplace.
Yeah, he also said some other crazy shit.
He said some other crazy shit. Yeah, and he was like, yeah, but he was also like 75, 80 years old. Daniel Snyder seems to have conducted himself in many ways leading a very toxic workplace environment, and has done a lot of things to make his franchise in some ways laughing stock to various degrees. Why wouldn't the other owners have already made a decision to vote him out yet? That's why I think Conspiracy Brother.
It's hard to just vote each other out. It's hard.
It did not take long for Jerry Richardson. He says a little bit of racist shit and then toxic masculinity. A little racist shit, toxic masculinity.
It's hard.
But he also didn't fight it that hard.
No, he didn't fight it. Yeah, he didn't fight it.
He was like, man, he was like, I'm out, man. Like,
remember, that's why Adam Silverman said the same thing about the Sarver case. You have to walk on eggshells trying to figure out how to do this. Because don't forget, you're basically his employer. It's not easy to do. And the other owners are going to be a little reluctant because they don't want the shoe to get turned, or everyone to turn it on them, right?
I'm just saying, maybe it was because the Me Too was kicking off real hard. But that Jerry Richardson, like, that was a fast, like, sale. And maybe it was because he's older. He's like, you know what? I just don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm old. let me just go die in peace. Because he died like a year later. Same thing with like Donald Sterling, died like shortly after. Like he didn't last.
Donald
longer.
Sterling's still alive, ain't he?
Nigga, Donald Sterling been dead, bro.
No, let me look this shit up. I think you wrong, Jared.
No, it can't be, man.
No, he's still alive, Jared. I think you off.
Nah, that nigga died. He got sick and died.
No, he didn't. Dude.
I'm pretty sure he died.
Donald Sterling is still alive at 88 years old.
Where has he been, bro?
I mean, he's without being owner, you don't have any. I mean, what? Well, oh, I'm sorry, Jared. I forgot. He's at the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and then he showed up for the Meek Mill concert, and then he was at the Grammys. Dude, he's an old ass white man. If they're not an owner, they don't have really no other reason for knowing what they do.
All right, hold on. Let me look this up real quick because I don't believe.
You got me over here cheering up like Stacey Dash when she found out DMX died, man. I'm like, what? Not Donald?
Not the
I
Donald.
thought he was dead.
Dude, I could have sworn he died, bro. Hold on.
No, he didn't, dude.
Hold on.
And Jerry Richardson didn't die either. God damn, you're worse than me, Jared.
All right, I gotta give myself a magic moment. Hold on. I guess once you're not an owner anymore, you just dead to me.
You don't have nothing else. There's you're used to these basketball owners that's always trying to show up on TV and do shit. But even after they sell, there's nothing to do. There's no attention for them to get anymore.
Jared's
Dan Snyder's just trying not to die.
That's why he don't want to die.
I think Jared's saying that because he want Jerry Jones to be dead. That's why he's saying that. He's like, man, this is better, Jerry Jones.
If it makes you feel any better, Jared, I had the same thought. I'm not even joking.
Yeah,
what we heard,
dude. It's like a glitch in the Matrix, bro.
About it. I think it is a glitch in the Matrix,
bro. Yeah, what timeline am I on, bro? Is it Aaron? Is this Earth C-130?
Come on, man.
What is it on Rick and Morty?
That's the one, C-130.
That's talking about chess and fishing.
I know, seriously, bro. I was like, man, and all of a sudden, Days of Thunder was a good movie. Oh shit! Head coach of Jackson State Tigers football team, Deion Sanders, had this to say at the start of a interview.
Now it's Jackson State head football coach, Coach Prime. Coach, how you feeling today?
No, straight up.
I always ask you how you feeling.
You was not talking like that just 2 minutes ago. Can you do the interview? Can you come in like you normally sound?
I just want to be clear and concise.
And professional?
Yes, sir.
So being you is not professional?
Well, I mean, I can't say it was a co. I can't do that.
I ain't asked you to do that. I just want you to be you.
Okay. Yes, sir. All right. Let me start over.
Right.
All right. Joining me is Jackson State coach, Coach Prime. Is that the same?
Dog, it's the same. Like, just be you. Just try your best to be you.
Okay. All right. I thought I was doing that. But anyway, I want to just ask you, you feeling okay?
See, like, if I say, man, what's up, Rob J? That's me. What's up, Rob J? You know the difference? Did you see the difference?
Uh-huh.
That's what you do. And I don't know who you trying to please out there, but I just want you to try your best to be you.
Okay.
Hey, man.
All right.
It's like, nigga, I'm at work.
How you feeling today?
Much better. I feel good.
I feel good.
Yeah, see, he just had to change the whole. He's like, I better just ask just 3 words. How you feeling today? He turned 2 of the words into 1 word. He said them together. How you feeling?
Say that, nigga, I'm at work. Look.
But I'm trying to understand, Jared. Deion Sanders did an interview with 60 Minutes yesterday, which is unprecedented for an HBCU school football coach to be on 60 Minutes. I think he might be the first head coach ever on 60 Minutes. And we over here talking about him breaking down this dude not being himself. God damn you, Jared. God damn you, Jared. Prime time was on 60 damn minutes, and you got us talking about him telling the dude to be himself.
Well, I just want to know because he's getting a lot of shine. He's like he's shaking up college football landscape a little bit, whether it was getting the #1 recruit in the country to come to play for him, getting exposure and light, and refusing to go to his alma mater to stay at Jackson State, having his son play for him, and them actually winning football games. He's becoming like kind of a motivational speaker. And so, yeah, he's getting a lot of pub right now.
No, I will say it's way early in his coaching career to say he's doing the right thing. I feel like those investigations usually come out after you've been there for a while. And people's like, man, this motherfucker's he's been fucking up for a really long time. And it was all good when he was winning. But watch him get a couple of losing seasons in there. You'll see the docu-series. You'll see the assistant coaches talking shit.
Pete Carroll did the right thing for the first 5 years. So did Chip Kelly.
Urban Meyer. Well, the thing is that so like I'm trying to figure out because Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, shout out sponsorship, come on our show. He's always been outspoken. He's always been very, a very candid person. He's charismatic, he's engaging, he's funny, and he's intelligent. With that, was this an example of Coach Prime getting too much into his own head and into his own feels, and or is this just Deion just being Deion? Like, is this an acceptable thing to be like, hey man, I need you to be yourself because you black and being yourself does not make that unprofessional? Like, was this Deion being too much in his own head, thinking his head's getting too big right now, and he can say whatever he wants?
Come on.
And
when did Deion ever have a small head, Jared?
I don't know.
That's who Deion is. I'll give it this. Deion is being Deion. In that interview, in a 60 Minutes interview, Deion is being Deion. He has never, and I think that's the reason why he's telling him, dude, hey, you don't have to code switch with me, right? I've been myself my whole career. You could be yourself now by talking to me.
With this microphone and camera crew in front of you.
I will say two things about the Deion Sanders thing. He does not allow his players to wear jewelry while they playing in the games. Or they're in uniform. He doesn't allow them to do the alterations to their uniforms, which is what he was known for as a player. And we all still forget how he choked out the athletic director at the high school he tried to start in Texas. Just let's not sweep that under the rug.
True.
How mature and intelligent he is. He can be triggered.
Because I look good. That is? I smell good. I feel good.
And you sing good.
And make love good.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think, like he said in a 60-minute interview, he wants them, I think he really cares about not their football career, but them becoming men. And I think that's why he took this HBCU job. The funny thing is they asked him in that 60-minute interview, like, will he take a bigger job? And he said, I'm never going to say no. He said, I'm not going to say no because I don't know what the money going to be like. When someone might come with me something that I can't say no to, and I'll be a fool for saying no to it, right? But for now, he's where he's at. He's not thinking about the future. I think he really likes coaching in a historically black college. I think he really likes working with the young men there, and he's interested in them. I think he put on all these rules that are different from the way he played, right? With the jury, the Jerry Curl. Remember his first press conference after the draft? He loaded up.
Yeah, he looked like Junebug from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Well, there we are. We don't have to ask anybody else. We got that from the source. there you are.
But I think for him, you get older, you mature up, you get older, you might still choke somebody here and there, but you get older and you realize like, hey, you know what kind of impact I want to have on these people that are becoming young men, right? I want them to have more. I don't want them to try to beat me. I don't want them to try to do this. I want them to become men. He even said in an interview, I want them to become businessmen. I want them to become fathers. I want them to become, partners. I want them to become the men they're meant to be and the best men they can be. Yeah, and I think he really means that. I think that's why he put on all these rules at Jackson State, why he does all these things. But he's still Deion. I mean, Deion's Deion. But they asked him about coaching the NFL. He said, hell no. He said, I'm going to end up committing murder. He said, I really might kill one of those dudes. He's like, because once the money come into play, it changes everything. And he said, put it like this. If I go in halftime and look at these guys and talk to them and come out, he said, I'm liable to come out with only 7 guys on my team after we leave out the locker room.
Is Wayne Brady going to have to choke a bitch?
Yeah, no, I do agree, though. I feel like from his experience, I think he allowed his experience going through the college ranks and being a professional athlete and being at the heights of stardom as an athlete and seeing all that and then being able to distill it into something that is actually a productive and a directed form of coaching and so you could say inspiration for the people he's working with, which I think is tight because he could have just stayed an athlete that was like, top of his, peak top performer of his era and his generation, you know what I'm saying? It could have just been like, I'm just going to just be a businessman and just do my own thing. I'm not going to do things that, could be inspirational or work with the certain communities in a certain way. Like, it could be more like a Jordan. He wasn't Jordan, but I'm just saying like, for his position, he was like the Jordan of his position, you know what I'm saying? And
you mean be like Michael Jordan and don't do shit for anybody but himself?
Yeah, he could have just done that. And there was a time where Deion was very selfish, like, or he presented in the way people perceived him and treated him was very, like he's a selfish guy. And that's why I think he was like, motherfucker, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know where I come from. You don't know what I'm going to do in this world. And that's why he's throwing water on that dude in the locker room, that reporter after the baseball game. When Tim McCarver. Yeah. He's like, man, this guy's judging me, calling me selfish because I'm trying to play both sports or, fly between. So I'm going to throw some shit on him when we win this game. Real mature, Dion. I don't know, Brandon, but what do you feel like? I know you were asking how long before you think Coach Prime leaves Jackson State. It sounds like you're not sure if this is going to be sustainable.
Well, here's the thing. Like, the idea to play for Dion at Jackson State makes sense for the top recruits if he can prove that there's a pipeline to the league from it, right? Mm-hmm. If they can get a viable star to the league from this pipeline. And it's a big experiment. Like the cornerback that went there, who's like the number 2 recruit,
Hunter,
going there.
Yeah, Travis Hunter.
He's an experiment. There are people who are going to show up to Jackson State's pro day because of Dion and how he's going to get the scouts there. And maybe somebody will get drafted, but they need a bona fide star, right? American Idol lasted for 20 years because Kelly Clarkson somehow became really famous and selling records, right?
What are you talking about, man? It started off because of Ruben Studdard.
No, he was the second winner. He was the second season winner. Ruben Studdard. Kelly Clarkson was the first season winner.
What?
Yeah.
Man, what timeline am I on?
And you ever watched if you ever watched that show, they only show like the first 4 people who won. After that, there's been like 16 seasons left.
Yeah.
After that shit, nobody's done anything.
There was a guy who I think won who had the same first and last name. Phillips.
I don't know.
I think we'll call him Guy.
It's like Brandon said. It was Clarkson, Studdard,
Fantasia Barrino.
The Josh guy was good for a while,
and then was the McPhee. What's her name? McPhee, whatever her name is. The really cute woman. And she was, and then after that, Catherine McPhee, and then after that, you didn't know none of them.
But yeah, I think that's the thing he's proven. He has the goodwill and the time to do that. But if kids see, like, all right, cool, I'm not going to bypass going to Florida State or going to UCF or North Carolina, or I'm not going to go to Virginia to go play major college football. I'm only going to come to Jackson State if there's a pathway for me to do that. But I do think it will raise the floor talent at the HBCUs, and hopefully they use the momentum they have to sell more tickets, get more infrastructure there to support these programs. Because I know some people who played for HBCUs, and it does not seem like a fun experience to be an athlete playing outside sports in the fall. It just does not seem like a good thing to want to be doing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, hopefully they use this moment to sort of build that infrastructure. And I was talking about that. I don't know if you recorded this before the pod, but I think they do need to take the Ivy League model of like, we're just going to have sort of insulate our talent. And this is going to be what and make it a big thing, the HBCUs or the SWAC.
But, Travis Hunter, they did an interview with him and asked him why he recently chose to go to Dion as the number 1 cornerback and number 1 recruit. And he said, because he told me I can have an impact on our people. He said, Dion told me that by doing this, I could be the guy to have an impact, and this could really help a lot of kids after me. And he said, and I wanted people to have a better situation. And he talked to him about that, how much this will mean, you being a number 1 recruit choosing Jackson State.
That's tight, though. I think a lot of these guys, are under the stranglehold of the American dream or the economic pressure cooker that is our capitalist system, that a lot of them are just looking for the ways to advance to the next level without understanding, like, where they do still hold some power and some ability to shape and influence their own experience, but for the experiences that come after them. I think that's definitely it's dope to hear that he's thinking that, and he's getting these guys to think about that, because I think a lot of times they're just so hyper focused, especially playing one sport. Stay focused, got to get that scholarship, got to get to the biggest level, and got to play, and then maybe you get your dreams of playing in the league. And it's like, hey, like, whether you make it to the league or not, you can have some kind of purpose or meaning in your decision making that is beyond you, or that is completely under your control, that you don't actually have to make choices because this is the way everyone says you do it. You actually have more choice than you realize. And so that's dope. I think, honestly, though, he just wanted that dude to code switch, kind of like the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Carey.
What really happened on that Thursday here at Augusta High School that led to Chris Wood's death? The fuck is that?
I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck? I can't see pollen. Let's get the fuck out of this country, motherfucker.
That was my mom's favorite video. When I showed her that one, she fell out.
Yeah. Shout out to
What's
Isaiah
his name
Carey.
again?
Isaiah Carey,
Isaiah
the
what?
Carey Factor. He has his own show on Fox Houston. I think it's Fox Houston. Anyways, Aaron, any other fun facts that you could tell us that our fans might not know about Catherine McPhee? Let's get to some Cutty Corner shoutouts. Cutty Corner shoutouts is a segment in the show where everyone gets a chance to rant, complain, highlight something positive in the world. Cutty Corner shoutouts. Cutty Corner shoutouts.
It's time. We're burning now. God, if you let it hell, so cold and bleeding now. I'm in for it, man. Gonna let you down. He had sex with my mama. We're broken people now. I just said I need a
Aaron, do you have a Cutty Corner shout out?
Man, Jared, not only do I have a Cutty, I had all kind of shit lined up, man. This is how bad I am. I was going to talk about the Dodgers. I was ready to talk about Gala apples, basically being the turn up of the apple of the fruit world. UFC shit, boxing shit. I had all kind of shit to complain about. And, in Gala apples, I really want to complain because not only are they like the turn up of the apple world, I hate that when people are like, oh man, they've got some good Gala apples, man. Gala apples, if Gala apples was a spice, it'll be flour. I don't know why people even buy that shit. But anyway, I had all this shit I was ready to talk about, but it all got changed. You know why? Because my Cutty Corner shout out is Jared. When all fails, I learned from Adaris. When all fails, blame Jared. Now, Jared provided me a lot of entertainment this weekend. One, the entertainment of I go take a shower. Jared asked one question in text message, and he asked, what time do you guys want to do basketball drafts? 3 people answered. The 4th person came in with a different time, but it sounded like it was all settled down. I get out the shower. I start driving my car. I just see text going across my Apple CarPlay the whole time. I start my car. Look, I got 72 mixed text messages. Right? All for the same group. And I said, damn, Jared got an argument with Darius again, right? 72 damn messages. So I sent out a text of a picture of leave the conversation with highlight where to leave the conversation at. People start leaving. And Jared does what Jared does best. So if you all have iPhone, you can leave the conversation. You don't have to just silence it. You can leave it. Jared does what Jared does best. Jared adds us back to the conversation just in enough time for us to see him kick Adarius out the conversation and then bring him back to talk more shit, then kick him out again. Now that turned into me having to talk on the phone with Adarius and him separately for 2 more hours. That's how I spent my Saturday. That's not even the main reason. Jared kept me entertained with our fantasy draft, everything. That's not the reason why I'm saying fuck Jared. In this, he gets the Cutty Corner shout out. I am saying this right now because look, man, first day of NBA season starts tomorrow, and we hadn't said anything. I had notes on the Warriors salary cap. I was ready to talk crap about the Lakers. They can't shoot. They can't defend. They can't rebound. I don't know what the hell they can do. I guess they could dribble a couple times. That's it. One of the worst Laker team I've seen in the history of Lakers basketball. And I've seen teams that had Trevor Wilson. I was ready to go off on that. But Jared somehow wants us to sit here and talk about Herschel Walker, Alex Jones. I mean, at least the Herschel Walker segment was funny. You know what, Jared? I need you, Brandon, I need you to back me up on this. And Todd, you too. Will you tell Jared to take the cannabis out of the byline, all the stickers and all the merch, and just put comedy on there? We're comedy. Now, the Alex Jones wasn't comedy. At least the Herschel Walker was comedy, right? We got good comedy out of that. Alex Jones was Jared wanted to talk politics again. I don't know what it is about Jared. He wants to go out into a bar and just talk politics with people. You know what? You need to resubscribe to George Magazine, that ain't, even though it's not in publication anymore, and just get your jollies off that way, Jared. Sports, society, and comedy. That's what we are.
Alex Jones is part of society. That
was not part of bullshit, Jared. We could have left that shit sitting there.
Well, actually, you guys talked a lot about it. I barely even said anything. I let y'all.
We talked a lot only because it was like, man, we figured if we talk this shit, he'll get around the basketball season starting tomorrow. He'll get around to 3 teams that won 100 games out of the playoffs in the MLB. We'll get around all this. We'll get around the MLB maybe having a wild card problem, right? I was like, oh, we're going to hit all this stuff. It's too much stuff going on in sports world. Football's now finally hitting the stride.
Alabama lost, man.
Alabama lost to Tennessee. Tennessee tore down the goalpost. I was part of that one time. Cal my first ever big game, 94. Bill Walsh was the other coach. And I saw this floor mate of mine yell at Bill Walsh how he was not a genius, all in his face. Just going off on Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh, you're not a genius. You are not a genius. He was nerdy as hell, yelling that shit in his face. All this, but no, Jared got us talking about Alex Jones. What else did we talk about? I feel like we talked about the Queen of England.
We talked about Days of Thunder on boats.
Man.
Days of Thunder on boats. I mean, fishing, chess, just everything.
Cricket. Talk cricket.
Oh my God, Jared, man! First day of basketball season.
We talked.
I could have gave
the best fishing movies.
This is the time of year where there's basketball, football, and baseball.
And baseball. And baseball.
And
it's good time.
Cricket, chess, and fishing. This is possibly the best Cutty corner shout out of all time.
We even had Bubba Wallace. He brought up Days of Thunder. We didn't talk about Bubba Wallace getting his Days of Thunder out on Carl Larson's ass. No, we had to talk all of this. God damn it, Jared.
What's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with you?
Exactly.
Well, Todd, how do you feel about Alex Jones needing to award those families $1 billion?
It's probably not enough. I don't know. I want to know how come rich people can always go bankrupt and pay all this money for whatever, and he's still going to be probably living well somehow.
Yeah,
he's not going to be living on the street under the overpass.
I would love to see Alex Jones under the underpass trying to do his show. Outside like a Coleman tent.
Some used Coleman tent. The homeless people, they ain't some Coleman tents. They got some mouths on them. Mouths, a lot of sex in them, all kinds of. If those Coleman tents could talk, especially after they get used by the homeless, oh shit. Those Coleman tents could write the history of the world.
We should start a nonprofit called If These Tents Could Talk.
If these tents could talk, man, they'll be crazy.
I think they use black lights for that.
Man, after all the crack dust covered all that, man.
That would be an interesting show to have like a crime scene investigator just investigate some of these tents. Like, oh, I see fecal matter and semen everywhere.
I'm sure tents weren't designed to be built for that.
That would be actually a good nonprofit though. Charity is you get vacuums and Roombas for homeless encampments.
What kind of Roomba is that? I think that's I think you call that an ant infestation. They just carry all these crumbs out.
Yeah, you get a Roomba. That might be the first Roomba to quit. That's gonna be the first robot to become sentient. That's what happened in the Terminator. They had a Roomba cleaning out homeless encampments, and that motherfucker became sentient real quick. Was like, oh fuck this. These dudes gotta go.
I gotta plug back in the sky. We need to wipe these.
All of them gotta go. Exactly. All of them gotta go. These are the filthiest, worst things around.